My little angel still can't use her thumb, so I'm still doing everything. She's got cut pineapple. She had a foot massage this morning. What would you like with your cut pineapple, beautiful? Here we go.
With walnuts, honey, and cinnamon.
Walnuts, honey, and cinnamon. Alright. Would you like a bow with that?
No.
Wrapped with a little bow? No? Alright, okay. I'm supposed to be painting today. Well, I've done all the wipe down, so I've just got to wait for it to dry out. I've got to do a little bit more sanding on the stuff that I missed, so he's hoping.
Good? I'm good with that. I'm through the pump. 49 feet 11. Okay, so I'm Steve from the Yacht Rigger in St. Pete, and we are here specking out and measuring rigging sizes of the existing stainless rigging on the mast to convert it to ducks rigging, which is a Dyneema product. Basically, we're getting the dimensions of the rigging so that we can spec the synthetic rigging for creep. A lot of people have a misconception that it's spec'd for brake load, and what we'll end up doing is undersizing their synthetic rigging, and so then basically it creeps and creeps and creeps, drives them crazy. It doesn't work.
But hold on, let me interrupt you.
Yep.
Why, in my silly mind, am I getting ducks for? Why would I have this idea?
Predictability. So stainless steel is good in many ways, but the number one issue with it is it can fail without warning. So a lot of the times we see rigging that's as young as 10 years old, 12 years old, just have a sudden failure due to work hardening, crevice corrosion, just issues that you can't really see, especially in swage fittings on rigging wire and on bend fittings in toggles. So ducts is synthetic, it's rope, you can see it, it gets fuzzy, it clearly starts to fail, and it has now a good 10-year
Well, it doesn't start to fail, you sort of see.
Yeah. It starts to show signs of aging, and then you'll get long warning, it'll get incredibly fuzzy before you have to replace it. So it's not going to suddenly just out of nowhere fail on you, you'll get visual indication that something's wrong.
And what's the, how much safer is it? We're going to go up in size with the Dyneema, or the ducks.
Right.
It's going to be how many times more stronger?
At least 5 times stronger than the comparable wire. Because we're sizing it for creep and not brake load, we have to go up so far that it results in a safe working load that's 4 or 5 times at least stronger than your wire was.
And it's also going to be lighter up top, isn't it?
Correct. Significantly lighter. It's the equivalent of having a guy go up your rig while you're sailing. Can you imagine having someone climb up the mast and hang out up there, 150 pounds of man up there hanging out? Instead, you have none of that now, so it actually changes the riding moment of the boat.
And if I notice, for example, if I did something stupid and I accidentally sawed part way through it and I'm in the middle of the Pacific,
right?
I can do it all myself.
You have spares on hand, it weighs nothing, you can just lay it down somewhere in a locker and replace the whole thing. And the good news is, because it's spec'd so high, even if you did saw through half of the line, it's still going to hold at least as strong as the stainless. We've got a guy who saw the storm in the, I think he was down in the Keys, and he literally chafed through a mangrove branch with his cap shroud, and the shroud only lost about 20% of its material.
Okay, so that's another bit of a weakness in it, is the chafing. So how do we get around the chafing?
Well, it's a weakness, but it's not nearly as bad as most people are under the impression. This stuff is used to drag logs out of the forest in Canada. The question about chafe resistance is we do have products called, there's one called Spy Wrap is the brand name, but it's essentially a chafe protection that you can apply. It's a split rubber wrap that you put on the shroud any way you worry about chafe, like maybe on a batten on the mainsail, something where it might touch your shrouds. But the key is that you can remove it easily for visual inspection. You don't want to have something that's permanently installed covering up the ducts, because the number one safety benefit of ducts is that you can visually see what's going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Good on you, Steve. Well, that is why I'm getting it. I can do it myself because Steve's measuring it all up, because I have know nothing about it, and he's allowing me to rig it. And I'll probably get him back to when we put the mast on, because we saw the dramas of what happened when I took the mast off. This is a never-ending story. This is just a quick overview of what we did to the rudder. If you want to check it out in more detail, check it out on Patreon. Here's peel ply, that's my favourite stuff. Doesn't stick to anything, it's bloody great. And you can just massage it in and make it all good. Here it comes. Here comes the pour day. I've got a couple of helpers, they've never done it before, doesn't matter. I'm wetting out the rudder here, it's just easier rather than pushing the resin through the glass. And then we let the glass stick to it. It wasn't all perfect, but we just cut out all the bad bits. But I tell you what, an extra pair of hands is great. Thanks Dwayne and Frank, good on you. Look at Dwayne, he's already an expert. Actually, that's a bit like Dwayne. No matter what he touches, it's gold. Good on you, Dwayne. And here's peel ply again, magic stuff. It's sort of a bit... look, I did something wrong there. I'm actually doing this in the sun. It would have been better in the under a tent. But we just got it in time. And this is like Christmas time. It just rips off. How good is that? And the surface is perfect. Well, as perfect as I'm ever going to get it. How good is peel ply? Bloody good. All the corners are all nice. I love my rudder. Rudder. This is the wire that was used for the main halyard. It was wire the whole way, and it was on, and look, there's tiny little breaks in it. I think it's dangerous. It was wound around this winch. Oops, there we go. As you can see, I've cut it off. The trouble with this is under tension, wire bites into itself on the drum. So when you want the main to drop, when you release it, it can get hung up and it doesn't drop freely. So this is an old archaic system that I'm just going to replace. I'm actually going to not even have a winch on the mast for this side. I'm going to remove this and have it redirected all the way back to the cockpit so I can reef from the cockpit. So anyone wants this piece of gear, just send a message. On top of removing that old wire winch system, I'm going to remove this sheave here, which I've already prepared before. And I've already started grinding that out and just making it smooth for the rope. So we'll use this to mouse the main halyard through. So I'm just cleaning in there and making sure I can get my finger out. Oh, bloody hell. Clean in there, make it nice and smooth, and also clean up here and here so it doesn't eat into the rope. I'm also going to make another hole down here for the topping lift. So I'll put a hole here. There'll be so many holes in this mast, it'll just fall down by itself. That's the pilot holes done. Then I'm going to get my biggest drill and put them in here and here, and then hopefully that'll be thick enough. I think I need about 15 mil for my rope. Okay, bring it out the big guns. Maybe not. I've got a nice straight line from the grinder that I can jigsaw. That's pretty good. Now I'm just going to get the file into that and clean that all up and make a bit of a groove here. Make it all nice and smooth. Time for the mast wires.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry Margarita. She's still recovering from the dog bite. Dog bit her, now she's going to bite me. It's all good. I'm pulling the wires through with a rope that I left in the PVC pipe. This mast never had a steaming light or a deck light, so we're just putting one in. It's a bit close to the spreaders, but I've just put it here just because it was near rivets and I didn't want to punch through the PVC up high where it was unsupported. Feeding the wires down from the middle of the mast. It's a bit difficult because of the 90-degree angle, but it's all good, especially with Margarita. Good on you, girl. Alright, the electricals on the mast are done. We had an hour and a half of free weather, which is good. Although it's... I better get this in a bag. So we've got VHF cable, RG8X. We've got the wind sensor cable, that's 35 metres, so that's all you can get it in. And we've got two powers, two triple X, 16 gauge, so 16.3, marine gauge, and we've also got two spares. So God knows what the spares are for, just put them in, see what happens. So I'll wrap these up, stick them in a bag and seal it, and hopefully it's all good until we raise the mast, which will be God knows when. Forecast said no rain until 9 PM tonight, and even then it was only going to be a bit of drizzle, so we thought we'd take a risk. So we worked quickly, seal up the mast, and hopefully it'll be set. Look at us go. This is how we work. We're super quick. Well, we took a risk and started painting the mast. And look what happened. You might think it's foolish, but there wasn't any clouds. Little fluffy white ones. What is it? An hour and a half later, bang. Well, it's finished. I'm in the lake again. This is my work area. It's interesting using power tools here. Oh, here's more of a lake. There we go. Here's my workbench. Yep, gotcha. Now, just in case you think I'm over dramatising this and that there was only one cloud in the sky, well look, just look up. Now, that was it. Everywhere else is that. Look. Not over there because it's the remnants of this one I just pushed over there, but if this keeps up, I think I'm going to get a persecution complex. What have I done, Lord? Please! All I did was have pretty girls on the boat and sort of make fun of them. And really it was quite harmless. Obviously not. This is the lower spreader end. So basically my Dyneema shrouds will run along here. Now, the yacht rigger made these up. They did an excellent job. Now I'm trying to polish out in here because the ducts, the only flaw I can see in ducts was two really. It's UV light and it chafes. So even though there's such a good job that has been done on this aluminium, it still could be polished up more. I don't have a tool for this, but I've got a blank here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something a bit bodgy. It's hard to believe, I know. So I got a little bit of masking tape, and this is a rubber, I don't know what this is called, but anyway, it's like this thing, and I'm just going to tape it on. Make sure I tape it on the right way. So I want it to go this way. And then you wrap it around, and then hopefully that'll polish this out. Well, it worked for a little bit. I need more tape. Nothing but quality production. See, the wind's getting strong here now. Over the last 2 weeks I've just had to contend with rain, which has been bad enough, but now we're getting rain at an angle and I've got to watch all the power. So I've got the power all the way over here because when I woke up this morning this whole table was wet and I left my iPod there. So all the people that lent me tools, they were all protected, they were all covered in plastic and under the table, but my iPod is toasted. My own stupid fault. So let's get a bit more tape on this and see how it goes. More sanding and painting. Margarita was doing a good job on the spreaders. I said don't worry about it, but she did it anyway. She's always doing stuff like that. Smooth as a baby's bottom. Thanks to Chris, who doesn't want to be filmed. Together, our great minds have come up with a system of lifting the rudder back in the hole. Actually, I took some of the credit. I shouldn't take any of the credit. It was all Chris. Anyway, we're going to use the winches and we're going to get under it. See, that was good. Do that again. Do that again. Okay, can you just
It's coming now.
Just take up the
yeah, just take up the slack as fast as you can get it. Yep. Alright, keep going. A little bit more. Alright. That's it. The marvels of having an extra pair of hands. Alright. Done. Hey all you good people out there, don't forget to click the bell to receive all video notifications. That's the one right next to the subscribe button. And of course, if you want to help us through this struggle, please become a patron. The link's on this page. Good on ya.